shipwreck in the dark, far from the harbor, far from the sight. In a storm, I lost my sail, I lost all direction, got caught in the veil. I didn't know love till you found me. I didn't know love, lost in the sea. I didn't know love till you found me. I didn't know love till you set me free. Didn't know love. Didn't know love. She was sinking, falling fast, so I abandoned ship, held on the mast. In the ocean, wild and loud, I was just waiting, I was drifting out. I didn't know love till you found me. I didn't know love, lost in the sea. I didn't know love till you found me. I didn't know love till you set me